Hello and welcome to this episode of the Monday Minute. My name is Ken Freeman and the topic for today's Monday Minute is how to fundraise in an economic downturn. We all know that the cost of food and gasoline are up to record levels. The housing market is in a slump. Stocks are falling and the economic downturn has many worried. The natural disasters and earthquakes and tornadoes destroy cities and towns around the world, and big businesses are downsizing, moving offshore. The logical conclusion is that donations are at the risk of going down. Yet, as the story goes, every nonprofit has the challenge to keep going, despite the economic downturn. Those that learn the lesson of relating to their donors and how to diversify will likely succeed in this economic downturn. The question is this: how can you continue to succeed in the midst of such an economic storm on the horizon? Let's take a look at the larger foundation to see how they handle such storms. The Foundation Center announced recently that U.S. foundations increased their giving last year by nearly 10%. And the findings from the Foundation Growth and Giving Estimates Current Outlook 2008 edition estimate that the U.S. Foundation assets reached a record $669.5 billion in 2007, up almost 9% from 2006. Now, this news, while undoubtedly welcomed by grant seekers, may seem surprisingly given the current U.S. economic downturn. The president of the foundation, Sarah Engelhardt, says that foundations are sometimes confused with individual donors and how their giving will respond to economic fluctuations. In fact, foundations, especially the larger endowed grant makers, often engage in long-term planning to ensure that they can maintain relatively stable levels of support for their grantees, regardless of the periodic dips in their asset. Foundations are responding, however, by giving more to those hardest hit by the economy, and recently the Council of Foundations released the results of a survey of over 300 U.S. foundations and found that 31% of those foundations surveyed reported increasing their giving this year that either directly or indirectly aids families, provide human services, or assists lower income populations, or supports economic development. Regardless, this news reminds us about the need for all nonprofits to strive to diversify their overall funding base, to engage in long-range fundraising planning, and as both practices can help to offset unforeseen changes in funders' ability to give. Jeff Brooks recently posted in his Donor Power blog such a reminder. He writes, "When you are writing fundraising letters, you need to write like a human being," and he states that one really easy way to be human in your writing is to keep in touch with the people you are serving. From his blog, we read this: "When you write your fundraising letter, write it so that it is clear and readable, which is more than you can say for a lot of copy that gets written and published." And there's just one more thing. Too often our fundraising copy doesn't sound like a human being. No mentally healthy person would speak those sentences. It sounds too much like a robot. And here's what we need to learn. Nobody wants to hear from a robot any more than we have to. We waste too many hours with voicemail menus, voice recognition robots, auto-generated emails, and inhumane notifications from our banks, insurance companies, utilities, and others. It's soul-crushing and it's bothersome. People shouldn't have to put up with it. Interestingly enough, they have started refusing to put up with it. And there's nothing forcing you to write that way. So when you write your donors, whether you're asking for money, thanking them for a gift, telling them what your giving accomplished, or even taking care of the details, keep it natural, keep it warm, and keep it human. And then write as a human when you are communicating with humans. Your donors will thank you. I just did a coaching call with a really bright executive director who was having trouble raising money. And in the course of our call, we uncovered her need to get passionate about her cause, not just about its features. She could talk about all the sponsorship levels and all the costs for the varied programs that she offered, but she had lost touch with the very people the organization served. To help overcome this, we set a goal of getting in front of at least one person impacted by her organization each week. That one positive step helped her to begin to realize an instant 20% increase in donations almost overnight as she started trying to go back and just put herself in front of people that had come and been benefited by their service. When I receive a donation, I personally try to immediately telephone my donor to personally thank them. In a letter, I write them and again express the way their donation has helped us, and this is why some of my donors have been donors for 20 years. If you need professional coaching in this area of fundraising, let me invite you to visit www.coachmeken.com. In fact, if you want to get more for your center for less, consider my special offer. And to get there, I give you the link at coachmeken.com/welcome.php. Would you like a copy of this transcript? Just enter your name and email in the form below, and the printed report will also provide you with other key facts that you may find helpful in fine-tuning your current fundraising. Now, until we meet again real soon, this is Ken Freeman reminding you to keep up the good work that you're doing. You are making a difference. Tell a friend about the Monday Minute and join the conversations at mmconversations.wordpress.com. So thanks for listening.